Thank you, Tom. All right. Welcome everybody to the November 13th, 2023 Finance Committee meeting of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners. My name is Kelly Robinson, and we're going to go ahead and get started because we've got really just two simple items. We're going to try to get through this as fast as we can so we can get the chairman he needs to get to as well. We have a 5-member board, which are voting members. I'm going to take a roll call here, and then we'll acknowledge our supporting committee members, and then we'll get into the order of business. So again, Kelly Robinson, I'm present, and I serve as the chair of this committee.
Bill Miller, am I the vice chair of this committee?
You're still the chair of the vice committee, yes.
Okay.
Rosalind Miller, Finance Department.
Great. All right, those are the 3 voting members that are present. We have 2 members that are not here. Suzanne, she's on vacation, as well as Tiffany, who is staying us out. So we have enough for one. I think we got Jill Hobson and David Good, our supporting members. Are y'all present here, guys, for the record?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we got enough to conduct the business of the people. So, Director Miller, let's go.
The 2 items that are on the agenda, the 2024 proposed budget, and then October's financial reports. Chair, would you like to go over the financial
Let's
report?
do the financial report summary quick,
Okay,
and then we can pick up
all right.
about that.
The first, just the 3 funds and how we're doing. And the 4 funds is general fund, unaimed, fire services, and animal control. And I'll just hit the summary of this page. For general fund, if you look towards the bottom where it has ending fund balance, we're negative 10.2 million. But as you are aware, we do not receive majority of the revenue until towards the end of this year. So that 10 million will be covered once we receive the tax payments. And for UNE, they received one of their number 1 revenue that they received for the end of the year, and that is for UNE, that is the insurance premium check. So UNE is positive if you look towards the middle of the page for ending fund balance. You see 9 million, and that's their ending fund balance. The next is fire services, 6.8 million in fund balance ending October, and 6.8 million.
Yeah.
And we have animal control ending October with 889,000 in fund balance.
It's a positive well.
That is also in the positive as well. The general is a negative 10.2 million. Our next is to give you kind of the detail of the revenue, to give you how the revenue is coming in, the trending. And if you go to the second page of the revenue, you see that, you'll see we've only collected for general fund 31% of revenue. And toward this time, we should be at 83%, but of course, taxes does not come in, the payments are not due until November or early December, late November, early December. The next is your uninked. If you take a look at the detail of your uninked for revenue, they collected 109% of their revenue, and their revenue is not tax based. They receive revenue every month. So their expenditures are under budget by 2%. Overall, they're 2.92% under budget. Our next is fire protection. Fire protection budget, they collected for revenue of 103%, 103% of revenue. And again, just like animal control, fire protection, they receive revenue monthly. Their expenditures are, a little over budget, 0.93%. The next we have animal control. Animal control has collected 88% of their revenue, and their expenditures are under budget by 12%. Now, our healthcare fund is the total for the ending of October. Charges for services, that's premium that we receive is 11.8 million. However, claims plus administrative of this healthcare fund, it's a total of 12.8 million of expenditures. So therefore, we're going into fund balance about $1 million for the month of October. However, the beginning year fund balance was 6.5. Now for October, it's ending at 5.4. And again, it's due to expenditures, our claims are higher than our revenue, which that is fine. It's based off of timing and claims.
Like, you know, what required versus recommended, we're going to fund out.
So your health, this fund is based off of the premium. It's not the required versus the recommended. That's your pension, but your health care is just collecting premiums from the employee and the county's portion.
Yep.
And then that's your revenue minus any claims. The county is self-insured, so if somebody breaks their arm, the county has to pay for that broken arm for that claim.
And pure cash.
That's at pure cash, and that's as of October the 2023, it was 12.8 million of claims and admin administration too. We have a third party to actually handle our claims.
So they get here, their service fee.
That is correct.
Alright, so sure, once they get out, so let's make it with that. It's
about about $740,000.
okay. The rest is straight claims.
Yes.
If they're paying, they're short of $8 million. Every year this year, somebody, we have cover.
Yeah.
Cash.
Right.
For help.
That is correct.
Right. And we're paying $740,000 for somebody to manage 12.8 million.
Yeah, that's the changes they did, yeah. Right, yeah.
When you show them, that, if you're saying how the safely happened, remind me about that. We said 12.8 is what we should have been, that's what we paid today.
Right, exactly.
And so what is this, we dipped into $1,065,500 or something?
Yes, so your revenue was 11.8 million, and then when you minus the expenditures of 12.8, you're in the negative. You got a loss of $1 million.
So more claims was just more expensive.
They're just not more expensive, it's just timing. You can't, like, claims are not, you can't divide claims by 12, it's just time. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just time. Like maybe next month may not be high, it's just based off of the actual claims that we receive. But we haven't done.
If you budget $1 against that, so every year when you set the budget, you got revenue against it, then you have to prove that actually happened.
Yes, so with your 2024 budget, so there's a renewal, and they tell us, okay, this is how much we anticipate your claims are going to be, and this is how much we're going to charge you to be your third party. So they give us that number, and I think it was a presentation to the board a few weeks ago, and it has increased. Health insurance alone, they were projecting about $570,000 And so therefore the county's paying for it, we're not putting it on the employee.
That's one of them.
Yeah, so it's a whole year. And that's all I have for the, financial.
So, all right, so I heard the name can with that, that's as of what, October?
That is correct.
And what is it we're gonna name? No.
We're under budget, I would say probably at maybe 13.5.
Sorry?
Oh, no, okay, no, I don't know, I think your fund balance would be probably reduced by 4.5. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what your fund balance is for. In the previous year, you didn't have that many claims because it was COVID, people weren't going to the doctor, so you were able to actually create that fund balance.
I got that, that's what insurance fund, right? Now, my question was around the general fund balance, when we did that for the year.
Oh, 50 million. But that's not mine, it's any of your obligations.
We're about to state on the area. Understood.
I believe it is, yeah, let me get that number, because I've been having all numbers in my head today, so I don't wanna, well, I'll get that, I'll get that.
Yeah, no, only in that, all right, so that's fine, so, every year we fund balance between 23, and you want to take a presentation about the budget between 3 and 4, which kind of brackets how it.
All right. So let's talk about the proposed, budget. And so in 2023, the adopted budget was 124.9 million. The proposed, budget before you is 127.2 million. And due to, the fiscal, policy is that, to make sure that we're not overspending or that we can establish a budget where we will, be able to continue to operate, the policy states that you must use 100% of prior year's recurring revenue. So that is your number, the 127.2 million. That's what we're anticipating to end in 2023 at $127.2 million. And so therefore, by law, you have to have a fund balance, balanced budget. So that means that your expenditures have to be equal to your revenue. And so the revenue is 127.2 million, and also the expenditures are also.
I'm going to be the new clerk, or the new data.
No, we're not using any, we're not using the fund balance to balance the budget, okay? Again, we're anticipating that the digest will remain the same, the millage will remain the same, everything, and that's what brings your 127.2 million. We didn't cut the budget because this year, your 2023 budget is 124.9 million. But your 2024 is going up about 2%. about $2.3 million. So there's no cutting the budget. The proposed budget is still to continue to, provide services. If there's, particular line items, yes, those have been cut. I think, you mentioned some earlier this morning, if that's what you're, discussing, but not everybody's budget was not cut.
So, that, the team is doing the same thing, almost 100% pretty sharp. My question has more to do with, all right, so was there head count cut, reoccurring, or was there capital cut? So when I'm looking at the budget, and I get into the thing, it's like, I'm looking at, okay, where are all the variances, where all the notes back, you know, I got it, but what's beneath that, what causes that shrinkage? Did you cut head count to make this fit, or did you cut, working capital, non-head count?
Okay, first, we don't cut the head count. If somebody's here, that person just rolling over to the next year, but we don't cut head count. But request. Now, there's a difference between your proposed budget and, no, there's a difference between your proposed budget, what's before you, and the requested budget. So the requested budget was over $170 million. Okay, and so in that request, yes, it was $8 million worth of additional heads and, increases. This is what the departments request. And for capital, there was over $20 million in capital expenses. Then, so it's, I don't consider it, being cut. I'm just stating that it's not part of the proposed budget. So the department's request of additional heads or capital is not part of the proposed budget. Okay, so do you have any, questions?
Yeah,
You want me to go over?
Well, here, let me give you, the Charles, this is a big item that really is before the bigger forward. That's something I was trying to lean it out of our committee, say if it's gonna be up or down, just to give a feel of what's reflected from, so for example, our animal control shrunk, I have a question about, obviously, the community service board that we talked about earlier. I have a question about, the connect Douglas. And we talk about, look at it, those large hits, like, okay, 2.1 million here, okay, what did we cut out of that to make that, since the same, that much bigger than last year's budget, that's a big cut. $600,000 is half the CFB's budget. Okay, well, what does that impact? So I'm looking for the impact of the.
Can I ask the thing about
Yeah.
the $600,000 that's cut is not cut, officially. They have failed to comply with what ARPA is there, is requiring us to provide them in the way that they spent their money. Because of that, we may have to pay that money back, so we will have $600 to cover that expense. All that they have to do is comply with ARPA and comply with what we have to prove what they're doing, and then they'll get their money. And they know that.
All right, fair enough. I wasn't worried about that. The official got it. One believe got it.
Animal control. So let me, and because you mentioned animal control special revenue fund. We don't cut because, as I mentioned, going through the financials, they receive, donations and stuff to cover, and they have their own fund balance. So we do not cut animal control. Usually it's whatever they requested, we provide. So they requested less. It's not that our proposal, did not provide. So whatever they requested, that's what they received.
Yeah. That's what they asked for.
Yeah, that's what they asked for.
Sounds good, great answer. So, we'll be very quick about it. What about Connect Douglas?
So Connect Douglas is a totally separate fund, and you know that they're. It's not part of general fund, okay, it's kind of like landfill, we put them separate, like the enterprise fund. And it's the same with them, whatever they requested, they receive also. But, we do have to kind of watch, because, a big portion of how they're funded is through grants. And what's not covered through grants, general fund would have to, pay. So we have to kind of look at that, because if not, if we increase Connect Douglas, then we're gonna have to increase that 127.2 million. But they've received everything that they, requested.
The change in there. You got the same report I got from the other day?
Again, if it's, a reduction, it's what they requested. Oh, and it was, due to capital. So last year, they received several grants for capital, and they purchased, it was a one-time, grant to purchase, capital items. So they purchased their capital items. In 2024, they don't have a grant that large to cover for capital. So therefore, their request is less, because they don't have the grant that's gonna cover that 2.4 million.
We're back to the head count, no expansion in there, per se, the capital contribution is, if you have one time, you have to repeat it again this year, you're matching the money.
Right, they already got the money, they received the money, we paid our match, and they got the
Last question on that, so it's in that grant, that'll start, it's a 3-year grant from the FTA. It's like $2 million per year.
Yeah.
So we get paid, like, 1.2, we get sort of.
20 is usually 20%, yeah.
So we put over 400,000 in 1.7.
That is correct.
The first 3 years, so we did that, on the other side of COVID.
Yeah.
And we got a one-time grant from the feds, just to keep moving we going,
Right.
cash in.
Yeah.
And I think that was, we didn't have to have a match with that, or anything.
No, we did not, they covered, yeah, we did, it was 100%.
We took, got it. Going forward, do we have a CMAQ grant to extend it beyond that pilot program in 3 years? So how can we keep it going?
We do, and I know Ron, is going to present to the, board, I guess, the strategic plan, or they had somebody to come in to take a look at it. Right, so I think that that budget will change based off of whatever the board approved within those recommendations. If you have extra routes or anything like that, of course, it's going to increase the cost. So that is not being reflected. So Connect Douglas, they have amendment to their budget based off of what, the goal or the plan is, for Connect Douglas with the board.
Good question. Extending that, the next couple of years, we're going to see that additional, yes, they've got a grant. Do we have a matching budget?
Yes.
So we have a capital transportation plan, transit plan, is it in that budget, or what are we using for our match, not their grant money? Where's that going?
It is coming from their, program income, the money that they receive, plus, right, user fees, plus general fund.
So we are budgeted for, focused.
That's right.
They're not self-contained yet.
No, they're not.
I got it, I was saying.
But hopefully they will be based off of, what they're going to present, the strategic plan.
Gotcha. And last year, I know we got our grant administrator here. At some point, we all had talked about from the county, and we were supposed breaking grants outside of moving that stuff. So things, you gotta make that shift yet?
It is, and Jim probably can speak on it, but it is a, challenge, because you're dealing with change. And a lot of people, a transition, and you have to understand that, it's a lot, you have over, I would say 100 probably grants, and for federal grants, over $3 million, dollars worth, that you have to pull that information out, and not only just, if they purchase, supplies, office supplies, but headcount too, that you have to, so it's a challenge, but, we're working through it, but it is a challenge. We're trying to, hire another well, not another, but just adding to our grant division with, looking for grant analysts, and that has been kind of a challenge too.
You can't find anybody or track anybody.
I think it's what everybody has said about the pay.
I won't believe that. I saw we were posted to about a finance manager director. It's something I think I'll be talking to you about. So I'm getting a point. And we're paying somewhere between 90 and 100 there. I think that's what I saw at the rate. I'm only making something, yeah, guys, people, if you gotta be willing to pay guys to get what you want. Well, they gotta be capable of working with maturity, like it's becoming more complex. Right? You can't grow anybody organically, you can't make it, so you gotta import. So I get it, so I'm just listening, I'm just seeing what the stories are, and I'm not challenging it, I'm just saying, all right, I got it, I've been, yeah, y'all need help. Yes, all right, so we're I gotta keep going. Tax commission, back to that point. And so even then, let's say Ron, you see, we're anticipating that these guys, they're waiting on to hear what's coming out of it, but y'all already know what's in it. So the board's gonna be given a budget. So we're like, okay, so you got people that are saying, well, we have plans to do this. You already know what the number is. So whether it's constitutional officers or the directors and staff, they're anticipating these things. We got these plans and so forth, but it's almost already set. It pretty much is. Now, we may sit there and debate over opinions on it all. Everybody can make their own opinion. But pretty much 99% of the budget is already set on the play. Unless the board decides to go in there and take something out from your little bit to put something in. Because pretty much it sticks as much as it can to be. Now I understand. I'm doing it with the record. That all right, we're gonna have this conversation with some, and let's to reconcile that reality, and that's the whole point of. And I know what y'all have to do regarding that, but I just want to know what's really in there and how did y'all massage it to get to that 120 number. Because we did make some investments, some changes, and we lowered our revenue, and then we increased our expenses. It's just reconciling that act about the food. What does that mean going forward? That's all I want to accomplish between now and tomorrow. Just give an answer tomorrow. How do we reconcile that one? And the rest is going about 22. So we keep going. Just make that a note. My last question was to really just secure. So as far as the tax minister and all the construction, do you think that resolved today? Do you think that the guidance that you need to move forward with the tax minister? Was there action that we need to take as a board field in your mind regarding his budget, his people? How do you do that?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, I've been, communicating with, Commissioner Baker.
Yeah.
So, I want him to have people too, because I understand, it is a busy time for him, but I can't go and just hire people, just like he's stating that his budget was reduced. I didn't go in to reduce his budget, just the same way I can't go in there to add it. Only the board can direct me to do that. And so what he's asking for, and it doesn't matter if he's wrong, I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. The fact is there's a budget resolution that states how much his budget is and his head count. That's the fact. And to change that, the board would have to amend his budget. Or he can just do a budget transfer. He can take money out of his supply line item and just move it up to his salary line item. He has over $200,000 that he's going to be short. And when you get a chance, you can look at the financials. As of today, of October, he's 7% under budget. So there's not a problem. It's an easy, like any other department, elected official, constitutional officer, they provide us with budget transfers every day, moving money from, I can see if he would be out of money. I totally understand him. And this, if we're saying, no, move money up to your salary line item, and then he's going to be short for making postage or whatever. I totally understand that, but that's not a fact.
So you can use it really for things, and we'll put it in the employee level. That's what part of the work today, if I'm down, it's for hour or that, you're gonna use that for the month to get the new year. Then you get to the new year, you get back down to your current, you work out a map for it, not for it, it's still activate itself. So it does require the board of commissioners to say, okay, guys, it should have been, we gotta own it. I'm thinking from that perspective, like, okay, we told him first, we really should be doing it. I gotta let it go. All right, we'll just finish share. I meant, if you got 58 positions, I don't care what, it's 58. Now, if some kind of way, our technology, our platform, the board, whether the sheriff's or was HR, finance, or any of that,
It's not,
we,
that's also a problem. It's not the software that's gonna do nothing. It's, okay. So if you have an employee, that retired, they get a payout of all their PTO. And we had a retiree that got a payout, and you cut them a $38,000 check. Okay, so that's their salary plus 38,000. So that was unexpected. That took the majority of their money, so that's why they're under budget. And their hiring practice, what they do is, and that's another issue, but we'll just stick with that payout. So that's why I stated, we'll just ask the board to just give you, your $38,000 back for that payout of the retiree.
which means that's also, that's the board, glossy business and communication, understanding and education, working with business, type of that, how do you move forward? Right, so what's my recommendation? I'm thinking, Mark, June 30th, move on. June 30th, or we can transfer, we can make it back to, it's almost like we're almost stuck in time, and it needs one bus, we're gonna take the board to settle it. If you see him thinking, y'all been talking, but at the end of the day, you're at an impasse.
But we're not, I have a great relationship with them. No, I'm not saying in a bad way, I'm just saying that I have a great relationship with Commissioner Baker, but when we depart or leave, he's under the impression that everything's gonna be fine. And then, it's different.
It's back to our point, he came and spent 45 minutes with us today, so I know that was different, but it's like, but what came out of it, that was not opening question to me. Like, if y'all saw it, I don't think y'all got there.
And I told the board, there's two ways to solve it. The board approve increases in budget, or he does a budget transfer. But finance can't do that. Right. Can't add to the budget. That's crazy.
Well, he could take an action, but he said, I'm not back.
But if you take short term, then you offer it in case of the next year, right?
That's correct. That's not that the board would have to increase, because at the time, I wasn't aware that,
But the
at
ones that-
times.
we have to take it here, we have to take care of. These comments, one day, mine. I realize this is when we take a board action after the gap.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
We're good. All right, keep going. We have.
So do they usually
They,
want unions and?
Yes, sir.
opioid, fund, the new fund, the opioid fund, it is listed, it's 381,000 in the fund that we've received so far.
Yeah.
And I'm just recommending that the board establish either projects or something so we can tie, with that committee.
You go say with that, restrict that page. right?
That, oh yeah, it's listed under your, special, revenue fund, so we can only use whatever the board established for the project or program, and I just need that as documentation, so that can be approved with, 2024 budget.
It's your duty of, you have to.
I don't want to leave, but I got another meeting.
How much more we got to go?
Oh, no, that's it, if there's no other,
We can continue on, there's no action on it.
okay.
It's going to be enough, the church has to leave for another meeting, another committee. All right, but here's my.
It's never.
Drug abuse,
You just think about it.
okay, so the drug abuse is, those are the constitutional officers fund. So we have to, by law, the governing authority has to list them on the resolution that they can spend or do whatever,
Yeah.
and then we just amend the budget. So that's just like I wanna say, just a placeholder.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold them to anything. I can have $1, but they can spend, that's the drug, abuse fund, that is their fund. So they let us know, they submit, what they want to spend. So, but just by law, we have to have it on our resolution. So, and I don't have, anything that I can use, keep it as the same or use how much revenue that they have.
So, do we have a, keep on, just go to
Okay. So, for your ARPA,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
you listed ARPA, and so,
It's burning down, so it looks like we spent, cash in, we're spending down, so the variance between last year and this year is simply going to have been spent down, right? It won't get pushed, right?
right, and also if you're comparing, the adopted of the 5.9 million, which that's what we've actually, spent.
Yeah.
Versus what we're proposing, the 1.8. So we will be, Jill will be presenting to the board, to get an update on ARPA, because we have several projects that we, feel that we're not going to be able to complete by the end of the grant. So therefore, we would like to, recommend moving some of the funds, in other categories. So at that point, your, ARPA budget will be amended.
No problem. When I get that, so I'm gonna go back to the side, so we've got pocket road, further, stays on, Fairfax, further on. The question is, you got into the end of next year to spend, or keep, allocated? Remind me what the rules were.
We have until December 31st of 2024 to obligate and have everything in the contract. We have until December 31st of 2026, with the exception of EOT projects, which are October of 2026.
Take the capital away for a second. Y'all did a great job with landmark to get everything scoped up. We're about to execution. So there's some line that says, please, someone who's dedicated across the board.
Recording in progress.
She's administering the grant, not not personally according to you, but, Joe's administering the grants, but who's actually delivering the project with those grants?
The actual people, the actual, department that actually generated the grant. That you have small project managers in each, cause if we're taking capital out, like over at, the courts, their accountability, court, we have a contact person there that does all the technical, information off of the grant, and finance handles the, finance of the grant, and Jill makes sure that our deadlines are, met. But that team is also gonna make sure that the costs, they're allowable costs. But each grant that we receive, we want a contact or representative for each one of the grants, so we can directly go to them.
I got the part of this is where I'm trying to help them, because since this vehicle stuff was stalled, it's not people about this, okay, it's time to look at it, and we're definitely do about it. When I ask for a status and execution, there's no answer, because we're basically, based on this new standard, I know there's needs, there's something that exactly serving people, but that office project management, I'm gonna push on for 2 years, like, okay, guys, I didn't think so. So I get it, so you've answered that question, I already know the answer to that question, I already knew it. Then I'm talking about big capital projects later, so you're gonna find them time to stop. Now, how much people make? No, I want to see this, are they gonna be on staff, because our firm would say we're gonna bring it in-house, they're gonna be on 2 staff. What do you,
They're gonna be part of Douglas County staff,
whereas, who's it gonna work?
where that I don't know all the details of the project, I just know the funding mechanism and how we're going to fund it.
Is that in the budget?
No.
So we're supposed to do something for $130,000, but it's not in the budget.
Well, it's part of your reinvestment, phase 1 plan. That, department or that division was funded out of that.
You actually get the bid. You know, I'm not gonna care, you're good about it, it's like, and Paul and that one. Keep on, yeah, come on.
Okay. So, we did 2022, so it was ARPA, we did ARPA, now it was the 2022 SPLOST.
Yeah.
And the 2022 SPLOST, I just based that, of course, last year we didn't have a 2022, this year, 2023, we didn't have a 2022 SPLOST. So it's 0 for the budget, but then the proposed, and that's an estimate, that's just based off of, the collections that we received, this 70% that, the county has, received at a point in time. So again, that number can change to be amended.
Well, yeah, so that is lost funding, which was to the truth. And June going to oversee the work, ensure that not to do with everything. So I'm going to say this to this one, even if I'm going to. I need to know how many people, what are they going to report to, and are they going to keep up with each project? So I'm going back to the CUBA, whatever else they share. We spend about $4 or $5 million last year. And we paid whatever, 6, 7, 5, I don't know what it was. So I would get one team that across all the spots, who would now want to bring it down a bit for each project. You still would have oversight. Is this person going to get paid on each one? I don't have enough detail. But that's a lot of money. I gotta tell you. You gotta help me answer that.
Yeah.
That's important. Mark that.
Okay.
Did you get where I'm going?
Yeah, but that is not that, that's why it's in, that's why it's in out. No, I didn't say put your.
No, see, but it was part of what,
Yeah.
right. Again, when it was like, you didn't see that though. I mean, yeah, I know what the story was, that's it. All right, let me do it. I was not aware, so things didn't go well. That's good. I know we're just that deliberate conversation that was strictly focusing about the other things and their the board, for the record. Now, whatever the staff decides to present to the board of commissioners, recognizing I had no conversation with that, I mean, a presentation, we all like, okay, so you gonna cap, and you gonna raise, that's it. What's happening in that is you guys fill the legislative process. That's really enough. It's like, when they do the board district 13, that was a failure. It's like, well, y'all got to vote. Now, how do the chair and the vice chair who presents their budget, present what they're doing, go against their thing? Like, well, you got 3 people here that you ain't even talking. Yeah, you gave a presentation, but that ain't how this works. You got to have a body. You can hear our vote. And so that's what I'm getting to the point where we want, those when you get there, when you further process like God, the numbers ain't what you think. Like, no, we took a hit on that. They're just not saying it. I'm going to force it out. If we're honest about this, we gotta move this forward. Because I have a responsibility. And I will be remiss if I let y'all not go. So that's where I'm at right now. Everything else you can let go. Because I don't have to press the point. Now with you. Now what with you? You do the best.
Right, but I'm not saying you're not telling the truth, you're not doing, I know, but in some of them, your words like are hiding or stuff like that.
I'm on both sides. It's like sitting for a Senate. It is what it is. It's how I speak.
Right.
And personally.
No, I'm not personalizing it, but when you're talking about money and, you know,
but it's what
wording like pride or you're not telling us, that's not, that doesn't sound.
Well, think if I had to talk to my county administrator 6 months and never return my phone call, that's the issue. If I look at the code, say, county administrator should be fully advised of all the board officials. I'm telling you, I'm in the dark. You better talk to me. Right, so my words are, I'm being soft. Not conservative. And like, I'm not playing. And so, if yes, my words are said, I'm communicating publicly, you guys keep up. Because what is, okay, you ain't gonna come clean to me, you ain't gonna come clean to the chair finally, like, okay, I can get in there and follow and pull this apart. Talk to me. Don't leave me out there. I'm the biggest advocate. I'm the biggest sponsor. And if I feel a certain kind of way, then y'all will feel a certain kind of way, because that's how I feel from your point. Like, y'all ain't gonna talk to me? You're not gonna return my phone call? Look at my look. They like to look at records. You don't know my comments are and won't talk to me? That's how I'm living out here right now. I'm gonna, I'll catch you later. I ain't playing. Because I mean, if I had to begin a constituent and a contract, that's for you. That's something I gotta deal with. Now, we're talking about it, yes, I'm speaking to the broad, put us all here. This is serious. I'm not confused about my words and being very confident it's not you. It's like, no, it's for the record. That here I am. And I gotta deal with like, what are we doing? And so I gotta codify these things for the record, have them to anybody person. But I have a responsibility in the office. Okay, guys. They say, well, how do you not know? Okay, well, exactly. Let me go ahead and about what's going on. I already can see. I knew the impact. If you had a balanced budget and you can't even push that thing through because it crashed because we're not talking, that real time, the high vote and the low vote. There's high vote and 3 votes out there. How did y'all not have y'all votes? Whoever put that forward, like, that just failed on the floor, like, it was a big fail. I'm like, oh my goodness. And nobody reconsidered that moment. And y'all just started to like, wait a minute, y'all over the policy. Let's reconsider what y'all just did. Y'all silent. Like, okay, y'all need to. What was that say? Okay, guys, y'all move through this regular thing with this latest move on the floor. That part. It has to be accountable so y'all will learn going forward that somebody has to catch these things. Not watch y'all. But again, that's serious because it's like, okay, come on, guys. That's what I'm saying. I got something that's got to be said.
Well, I'm gonna go through your whole list, so
Okay.
I answer all your questions.
You got it?
Yeah, so the 2022 SWAS, I mentioned that, like, you see the,
You're fine.
So the next is, Connect Douglas, and we spoke about that, we feel good, Connect Douglas, right, that we didn't cut their budget, whatever they requested, and.
Really, that's what she just said, it wasn't that, it's, cause I talked to Director Robinson, he had not seen his budget, but I didn't require. One of our jobs, like, okay, we're talking, the budget, I'm already in it. Alright, so, can you explain what happened to? And they don't know, he says, again, y'all are more, he said, I'm technical, I can present to, finance, and you guys, and you translate this technical news into whatever you do. So, you could not answer my question, but you answered officially on your behalf, thank you.
Okay, and solid waste, that's the landfill, which is listed as a landfill, and he's saying, whatever, the department requests, we provide, their budget to, so if it was a reduction, that is what they requested. The self-insurance, as I mentioned earlier, has increased. Oh, the landfill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we okay with that research? I think it's a negative, the drop in revenue. Are you reduced the budget in that?
We didn't reduce it, like I said, we just need, that's another, right, so whatever they request is what they receive.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm just make sure it wasn't, you cut that, it's more,
Yeah.
that it was committed, you leave them alone, because they're self-funded, and most probably looking for.
That is
okay. You know.
The self-insurance, so last, year's budget was 17.0 million. This year, we're proposing 17.5, and that's kind of what I mentioned earlier about that, the admin fees went up, and, that's what we received, and actually, that's what the board approved too, of that contract.
That's what the self-insurance, so this is, my liability. This is not my healthcare or my workers' comp, this is.
No, that is the self-insurance, this is what we're speaking of, is your, health insurance.
Okay. I want to get into the line item, I read that, and thank you for that, sorry. I'm looking for the, my liability. Lawsuits.
Legal, okay.
Are we something, we just don't have legal services, so we got $1 million there to stay stagnant. Do we take, like, when you get lawsuits and settlements, telling them to pay $1 million on Facebook, where does that come from? Does it come from the legal services budget, did they outsource it to a third party, or does it come through fund balance in this?
It comes from legal, so it's part of that $1.5 million in your legal budget.
So you can take $1 million outside, out of the fund balance to satisfy anything.
No, only if you're, over budget, then you would have to come to the board, like, let's say that the budget's established at 1.5 million, and it's October, let's say it's 1.7, we anticipate it's gonna be 1. I would come before the board asking for the board. Exactly, and that's it, above that. But right now, he's under budget, right now, the legal budget is like 1.2 million.
Right, so all these third party, these external conflict attorneys, they're all coming out that budget. We've had one, I had one this morning in the executive session, then there's other people, the public already knows about. Those fees are coming out, why? That legal services provide, I would audit that, it's going to come on there, or it's going to be cut from somewhere else. I kept hearing say, well, I don't have the authority, and we're going to pay for this, that. I mean, it's like being redirected and saying, what they're telling you, no one was owning it. This is what they're,
Was this earlier, like a few months ago, or something?
Right, witness, where is the money that they pay for the probate? Where's that money?
It's coming from his budget, but early on, remember the checks were being cut from her, so it was, in her budget, but the board amended her budget, gave her the money.
For that.
That is correct.
And it's very important, none of us moving this out.
Right, now we're actually writing the check.
So it won't come out here, but, so it's just looking out fund balance. So you got a fund balance for legal service in addition to.
He's within his budget.
Okay.
Like I said, so far,
You're transferring out of his budget into her budget, or that person's budget, or whatever is covered.
no, we're, okay, he has a budget of 1.5, and let's say an outside attorney comes,
Yes.
it's going after his budget, taking it from that 1.5.
Yeah. I can follow.
Okay.
I'm just trying to anticipate if one less, is that too much, that's too little? You didn't know that this, something, I just want to anticipate, like,
Could be increased.
yeah, you assign maybe $500,000 for lawsuits, and then he has $1 million to do general legal services.
Right.
What is that answer? You know, I'm going,
Right.
it's just like, okay, let's make sure we're assigning some kind of, so you trying to get some balance, like this, we're treating them that, okay, plan, there's a plan for it, versus just always bringing up technical.
I totally agree. I
You
think,
say,
and I think that would be right. I agree, because you would know if there is, or the, county attorney would know if there's, how much is it going to be for 2024, so he would, he should, his budget should reflect that. But he didn't increase his budget. So we did self-insurance, we did legal services, and now the tax, equalization board. So, yes, so, all right, and this kind of goes back to, no, with the tax commissioner, but I know the equalization board is the tax. But for the part-time, it calculated, okay, can we agree that working full-time, your hours are like 2,080 hours? Okay, and let's make it simple, we'll just cut it in half and say part-time is 1040. That's how many hours. You do your hourly wage times what total hours. The system for part-time did the hourly rate at 2,080 hours, which is full-time hours. So it doubled.
Yeah, so we're being directed.
Yeah, well, we're correcting it in 2022. He didn't use the money, he hasn't touched the money, but we're gonna correct it. So that's why we see these two.
So equalization is under the sector, and who manages that over there?
It's the board of assessors, it's, Stephen. Information service. So with information services, they had, about $2 million worth of projects in ARPA. So the first year, ARPA is paying for the maintenance of it. But you have to complete the project first, and then there's an annual maintenance fee. We haven't completed, decreased about 700,000, but, in 2024, not all of those, ARPA will be paying for those, maintenance and annual, maintenance, of those projects. Not, because it's not fully implemented yet. Yeah, you have to pay when it's being implemented. It's part of, it's like it's not really maintenance, but they call it startup cost.
Yeah.
So that's what, but it's usually, if you ever look at it, it's usually around the same as what your annual maintenance is gonna be. So when you start up a project, ARPA, when you start up these IT projects, ARPA is paying for it. So the budget is
But
not.
you haven't completed them yet, and so.
Right, so really shouldn't be in the general fund budget, it should be in the ARPA budget.
So, we want to, who's supporting it, and see other projects, that's for us. Now, here, we're not going to say, we don't get through this. Where's the capacity, for the program oversight? Because our challenge with that staff is it's not what we normally do, we use the operation, take them aside for that, I get IT. But generally, everybody else is pretty much, their service domain, they just don't, it's operational, it's not project-based. And so that's what, okay, who's going to sit there and get the compliance and synchronize these things to get the efficiency that we need? I mean, the federal dollar allows you to what, 20%? Was it 10% or 20%?
It's 10, or if you have an indirect cost allocation, it's already with a higher.
The landmark can give it 2.8 or 10%, you can use the oversight. Right, we want to understand half of that for 1.7, just for oversight for all that. The feds allow you to charge up to 10% for oversight, in other words, get the paperwork right, deliver what you're supposed to deliver, and here's the mechanism, so there's an expectation, but they allow up to 10%. And I'm just saying, okay, guys, they know that's important. You may know how to deliver services, whatever the value proposition is, they'll stand behind the scenes. And I was just curious as to how we were doing that, and back to IT, like, okay, what y'all are doing? Like, wow, you know, IT is important. Do they need help? Yeah, people.
Okay, general appropriation, so general appropriation is kind of like, we consider it's non-departmental, and it's usually your retirement, what you mentioned about the recommended required, that is paid out of that. Yeah, it's so it's items that are not departmental, but it's usually obligated, you know, so.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Yes. The county administrator's, budget is yeah, listed,
Yeah, that's pretty baffling. What is in there?
so what is in, let's see. If we have,
What's the total dollar again?
so county administrator's, budget. Okay, so the county administrator's budget is, last year it was 791, this year it's 883. So what's included is, you have personnel, so you have 3 employees in, well, let's say position, let me check. Okay, you have the county administrator, you have the, deputy county, or the assistant county administrator, and then you have the admin. That's it. Who? Oh, well, no, okay,
So what is her salary? Is she on the external affairs and chief of staff? I'm gonna call her.
no, she's not, now, we just gonna say name, Tiffany, okay, no, Tiffany's not, that's not her department. Tiffany's in the county administrator's office, department. They have a manager, Wendy is over,
That whole function?
well, it's not a, it's,
I mean,
it's not,
I just.
the name is changed.
Yeah.
It's not right, yeah, the name is changed.
I people, right, yeah, all right, we got, I'm just curious, so.
So we have that, and then, of course, there's benefits for that, and then you have,
With 3 people, it's 8,000.
yeah. And I can let you know
But that's
that.
250 each?
Yeah.
No,
No, maybe not with benefits, but,
no, we're good, I'm just making a point, got it. All right, so you keep going. That's, I understand.
yeah, the, salaries the highest in,
I get it.
as all departments, in that department. The operations like postage and stuff like that is only about 7.
No. Okay, keep going. Was that it?
Yeah, it's just the
Yeah,
actual
no,
business.
No, come on.
Oh, no, okay. Then you have the jail, I think it was like 354.
Yeah. That's why it was, because that's what food, but what is that like? Why did they teach you
It
that?
could be one of their line items, yeah, I
Can you find out your list?
yeah.
I don't know exactly.
CSRB, I think the chair answered.
What's holding the money, but you think that.
We're not really holding, well, I didn't see that.
That's what he said, so when they fill out the paperwork, now you're going to see the last of the current year date. He hasn't even got the addition, he's falling. So, right, so, and it's when you start paperwork, you know, y'all, some of you gotta work that out. So now we're going to new website, that's current site, so now there's $600,000 less. I'm like, okay, so is that an implication because now we're just gonna make it, we're gonna keep that thing smaller, or what does that mean? You know, the multiple conversations out in the room, like, okay, this is not a line. And I just gotta figure out, okay, what's about to happen here? All I'm trying to get to is, I don't want my services. I'm concerned about the citizens and their services. While we're working out paperwork, we finish. And if we work through paperwork, that means lives are being impacted out in the community. Like, people are not getting their services actually, that half his budget that we were appropriating. The board was committed, I call it a continuing resolution last year, to re-up the first 5 years for another 5 years for CFP. This is important. So while I'm like, okay, get it through this, so I can continue something that was, it was an important initiative. And we get caught up in internal paperwork, like y'all are killing me. You got people.
I'm not defending it,
I know.
Commissioner, but also,
No. Let me talk. I'm making my point. Right, this is the committee, alright, so, no. His point is, you got to be sensitive. There's a sensitivity in my system, to all of us. My job is to balance. Don't ask me to pick a side between reasoning versus my expected outcome. That's a false argument. Don't ask me to answer. Really, I'm oversight and get like, okay, look at this. Now you're gonna work through this, but I still have to explain the implications of this. And this is really for the record, not for you. It's like, okay, once y'all do y'all hearings, we get to talk. Y'all can already get an answer now, I get to speak on where I'm like, okay guys, this is important to me. People are watching this. It's like, okay, while we're playing with paperwork, that means it's less funding, and we don't know when this is going to get solved. And that matters to me. I mean, those services are important. While everybody gets a $250,000 salary and contracts all day long, so what are we going to see about citizens? While y'all work on y'all paperwork? Do you really want to have a trade-off conversation about people? And I'm saying that part is important. Alright, so I don't get caught up in the internal versus the external where I live when I'm amongst my people. And I hear the importance of these things. And I'm looking at it, and I gotta come back up in here and say, are they gonna be obliterated? And I hear CFP saying that they're exposed, that their revenue is being strained, and their cash flow, and they're asking me, okay, so can you help out? Can you get this unstuck? I'm burning through my cash flow, it may crash. I'm gonna the state disregarding things from CFP this morning. I'm like, God, you ever see the government did? They cut everything in their law. Yes, they are appropriate, but they were disregard, that's film. So I'm reconciling them on like, yeah, I hear you. But you're not gonna be doing what I'm looking at. I'm saying, okay, guys, how are we gonna handle this? So bringing attention to something like, no, I'm not playing with the citizens. So we're saying one thing, but all of our actions making it like it's imploding on itself. So that part right there, so it's nothing but it's really up to the board. I'm making this for the record if you're watching this. That Arkin and all of you guys are to believe you listen to this later. That okay, how are we going to handle this? We get what you're presenting, but ultimately it's up to the board to determine where we're going to go with this. And so that's all. And this is an important initiative and it matters to me. So you know,
right, and I'm just explaining. I'm not defending. You asked me. You said you wanted to fully understand the budget. So I'm explaining, and I just want you to have the facts too. It's not, and again, you are correct. The board, this is just a proposal. You can add the 6, but we're just stating that the federal government is asking for a receipt. And if we don't have the receipt, then my recommendation would be take it from fund balance to pay it. If we bump it up, so I don't, this is just a proposal. I totally agree. You don't know what other people go through or in their family, what's in their family. So I strongly understand what work Ray does out there. So, and
I get receipts.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So the board can choose to, put the 1.2 back, and then you just have to pay the federal government back, and you can go to fund balance to get that.
And again, this continuous resolution, okay, but show me, y'all are telling us some story. Y'all are giving us words, and so we haven't gotten a story for anything. I mean, I'm hearing him say one thing, I'm hearing y'all say one thing, but nobody has to do it. My point is this thing is key. Let me find out what's really going on. Let me lean in. But you're telling me this just right now. Right? I have nothing. These are words to me. There's nothing in writing. Nobody has given an account. I'm hearing conversations. Say, okay, I can't act on this, but I got it, I got a week to it, or 2 weeks, something like that, I have a law to work through this as a person. If we just mark that one and says, okay, but for me to make a decision, prove it. Show me what y'all see over there is done. He has to show what he's done. And then we can make a decision whether or not I may want to increase this. I may want to take money out this. Because I get two these trophies, but I need to know how much is there right now.
Right,
That's all I'm looking for.
and I know the county administrator, did provide, I'll get that email, provide that email, but we did establish it, you know, what.
I just need to communicate.
Right.
All right, keep going.
Okay, public welfare.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that, I believe Judge McLean is, I think he actually has a portion of it, of, okay, so, last year was 426,000 was budgeted, and this year, it's 300,000. So there was a portion that it was about $150,000 that came from, the chair's office in previous years. However, I didn't have any, backup or justification to,
Was that the housing that we gave both,
that's the whole, yeah, but it's another one that, but we didn't spend, it wasn't spent.
We, I'm Jesse, she's brand new, so put her to the side. And just the thing that we're going to move for housing, then as soon as, house. Judge Adams came on board, she also got the same thing, because people are responsible for that. There's your 300. Now, I do know that the thing on used is per se, I'm not certain about, and so we talk about that money that did not get spent.
But they both have their money, they still have to do it.
Yeah, haven't got our
Judge McLean is, I have to, look to see, yeah, you budget for 300,000, I have to go back. And for me to just write off, I was going based off of trending too, so for me to, do the one, 300,000, I am 98% sure that's how much has been, spent. Is the 150. However, there was another 150. It's not part of the proposal. So the judges still have their 150, however, there was another 150,000 that was not due. So
That came out of the chair, you said out of the chair.
yeah, I mean, previous years,
Doesn't work.
I don't know.
That be a state direct funding to see if it's in the chair's bucket, why that, how that money get over there?
You don't know where it is.
I mean, you're saying that.
No, it's just.
Public welfare, what is that public welfare? Is that museums, is that, the chamber, what is that?
Yeah, I would have to give you, yeah, I could give you details of the expenditure, what the judges have, spent. But for the 150, I can't tell you because there was no, expenditure, the one that was in the chair's office. I can't tell you what was, allocated.
It was the spring.
No, it wasn't. That's why we're here, because that is right.
People.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
DFAC.
Yeah, we always do that, this is for Commissioner Alvarez, I said I would take it up.
Okay, family children services, last year 70,000, this year 70,000, proposed, and I say last year, 2023, 70,000, 2024, 70,000.
That's always the rule.
That is correct.
We give it, we're gonna give it much more than this month, right? So we're still going to CFP, not a lot of money. Less than what, 2.5, less than 1.5, or 1 of our overall budget goes to, CFP, true public welfare. Can we increase that? Or just about restrictions, I know that was state agency, and they have some restrictions on how we can allocate. But that's some lower number. And we're talking, so can we make a markup on that proposal? I won't forget, can you mark that?
Yeah, I think that's, based off of their request, they would have to, go ahead.
And I know he used to sit on the board, it still does, but I said I'll just make a mark for that, they're probably gonna get it, we just be prepared for that. And that may be something that we increase, I might have to point from somewhere else to get it. Yeah.
Yes. Parks and recreation. So parks and recreation, it looks like, reduction, but they have several different funds. So if you combine their parks and rec, aquatic, their activity center, it offsets actually more. And they received, their funding or expenses were in one account. So this is just to kind of clean it up, but they didn't reduce any money. There has not been any money reduced. So what they actually requested is what they received, but it's just allocated different. You just have to look at all three of those funds.
Keep going.
The next is the Development Authority, Industry Development. That is correct. This year's budget is $350. The proposal is $300.
Yep. Right, so like, what about the chamber? We allocate, theirs is still 0.
So in the chamber, money is allocated from the unused fund. So there's still, I believe there was about 350,000, and that the board usually allocates it out. You recall it was the chamber, then y'all had some, allocations of $5,000 each. Then you had, right, and it was another, entity, but the board would actually let us know this, the same amount as last year, and you would allocate it out and who you want to pay, but it's not part of your general fund budget, but it is part of your unused budget. No, I'm not.
So that's usually the funding that we use.
That is correct. Well, it's the hotel, it's the unrestricted of the hotel, the motel, yeah.
We have the sewer room, the DC.
That is correct.
Some laws.
Yeah, again, it's the board.
Back then.
Again, it's the board, yeah.
That one, mark that, we'll talk about that. What about the museum?
The museum is also part of that $350,000.
We gave them 50 and a one-time one this year, 150. Is there anything owed in this budget? Because we got one last year. So when you, I know you said it's in there, but now we gotta break it out. Who get it up? Where's the actual money? Where's the line at the moment? I need that to be said. You know, Lord, to make sure we get that.
Yeah, it's right, and it's in your, it's not part of your general fund for how we do for the millage rate. But it is in the unused, but again, I'm waiting for the board to say, rather than pay this person, and, the contract goes to the, board and they're signed. And that's how I get who will pay and how much. But right now, you have a lump sum of $350,000.
Mark that. All right, the reason I bring this back, we have all this, it's the same principle, like, okay, it's the same week that when the museum has to provide the same type of point as CFP. Now, CFP is usually do, I get it, but you see this one being lumped into together as a group. Now, I'm aware of these conversations, I'm not sponsoring, I'm just not that guy, I get to hear it, like, oh, so that would be in first school, I like my language, I talk. And so, and being pushed through as part of the group, but they have the same type of deficiency as relates to reporting and accountability and transparency. And so I'm seeing the standard being held inconsistent employees too, which is pretty much, I got to mark this for the record that says, that's what this process is about, and you have to ask the question. Okay, so I get it. Everybody's not in agreement on whether or not the museum should be funded or not funded in other areas as well. So we gotta have a conversation, we gotta need group of people here now, so everybody gets to weigh in, so it's not just we don't do it that way, I'm like, all right guys, let's revisit this, we're talking about the museum, y'all tell me what it is. Are you gonna fund it or not? This is the time to have that conversation. It's the board conversation, which other we would do here. But don't hide this in this bucket of money down here. Y'all think y'all gonna sit this thing through. As we've had time, had to do it. We've been here. I'm not acting new. This is for the record. This is my job. And I'm okay, I'm good. So, that medium, we gotta pray about it. I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Thanks.
The next is cooperative extension.
Yeah.
It increased, I think, about 18,000, and that's for the board, that was a contract,
Yeah.
that the board approved.
That was Amanda Bryant.
Exactly.
Is that for her salary? Do we have to fix that? Is that part of that? Is that an increase?
Yeah, it was an increase.
Would that be increased by that now? That's what that was.
For 2023, but it's just gonna carry over to 2024.
So she didn't get an increase.
That's different than Amanda Bryan.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Family Connections for,
Okay.
cooperative extension is 4-H.
Yeah, that's, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was important. So that's what I'm talking about right there, that 18,000 is something.
It was a contract that the board approved. I have to go back to take a look at the contract. I believe it was part-time help or something. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm focused on, we have 4, I'm focused on 4.
Okay.
And the presentation that was made on is on the full board, and we're looking at compensation and style, like, okay, that's what you think all of you.
Yeah.
That's what
We have a meeting with her on Wednesday, and we'll get those questions answered for you. We're meeting with her Wednesday morning.
Can you take care of that for me?
Yes, sir.
Can you give us the answer back in a couple weeks?
Tell me your question,
Again, we're back to the salary considerations the board wanted to make.
Okay.
It's about her salary, her direct contract, for the services she provides, the coordinate of everything out there. She's just as good as Ray over there. I mean, my whole point was, she got more relations with Ray does. I mean, as far as coordinating, that's where our conversation left off. And I raised my hand and said, let's look into, guys, is there a way to recalibrate how we compensate this function? So it's that time, we find out what her ask is.
Yeah, we have the Family Connections, and it sets the cap of what comes in, and she has it set up in a per diem contract, section, but
Is there a
as she
state
presented,
requirement that says she can't go any further, or can more supplement like anything?
I don't think that her funding would be in jeopardy for Family Connections if the board supplement.
Okay, that's where we're at. Can you get an answer for it? Usually that, please. Just write the quote down, I won't give a minute. But it's something that the board has already talked about as a group. And we're gonna be off, now get us the facts around this, and so that we can make a decision whether we choose to, supplement that or not.
Right, and then,
Sure.
yeah. If this is it, I think we went over.
Okay. All right, last question. I've got, and I don't know what y'all sent out to the public, but I've got, what I would call personnel request document that had a bunch of salaries in it. I just want to get into it. And then I had an expense report spreadsheet. And then I got this summary booklet, about. And my question is, as I went down the 2024 summary budget, and I looked at it, because I'm that guy who goes down every line of the spreadsheet. And I recognized that, wait a minute, so this budget that I use for the commission, $200,000 here for District 2 Commissioner Kelly Robinson. But when I go into the details, I'm like, okay, the details don't add up. This only says $56,000. Now, I get if I add up my salary 35, I might need a 65, that's 100, and I've got $50,000 for it, because we all got $50,000 for us, that gets me to 150. And then I know I got a $6,000 expense, not at 156. So where's, I know I'm at 200, where's the $50,000 variance that this says this, but the expense says different? And so I'm like, and in all this, I still didn't see where the fund balance was. I'm like, okay, now where's the fund balance now? Now I get it, where's my ending number? Now I know you're fulfilling the budget, I know how you're presenting it, I'm gonna let that go. I'll come back to that. But I really wanna know, why these two documents don't line up to a T? I sampled, so then when I found a variance that I didn't reconcile, I just sampled. I'm not going to say 100. But I began to sample various elements, like, okay, these are not adding up, you're saying this in summary, I'm going to look at the details. Now, y'all know I can read the spreadsheet, so I can roll out and look at it, make equals, whatever it will be, and I can reverse engineer it. I just want to know, you don't have to do this now, but the two didn't add up. And that was important because I'm like, okay, which one do I trust? Which one do how do I reconcile this? And again, that's why I wasn't gonna be able to just even support approving this budget in this meeting just based on that fact, that these two things don't line up. And y'all may not have known that, but me, I'm coming to a committee meeting, now it's okay that we're not taking any action, okay? The chair is good, because I won't take any action either, so I want to send a message to the board, like, okay, guys, these two line up, now I don't know what, again, one time, intentional, unintentional, it's just, it matters. And I'm like, okay, you gotta ask me to make a decision, and I don't want the public to come to me, and I'm sure there's far people just as me, that's out there know how to use your spreadsheet, and if they were paying attention, they see it's unreconciled. You know, you got an answer? You know about it, and if you don't know about it, don't answer.
Yeah,
If you don't know, that's honest stuff, if you don't know, then we got it, because then I could've got the wrong version.
and the only thing is, the detail is the detail of the operating budget. And the salary budget is just the salary and benefit. So I don't know where you're saying it's two on the reconcile, that I don't get, but
Yeah, well,
I can get you something
Yeah,
that,
take a look at it. Yeah, take a look at it, that was our whole work, we were doing, won't y'all look at them, see? It's what they don't have. So again, okay, but that was important for me to say, okay, but where's I just wanna know my 207,000. If I just use me alone, y'all get me at 207. Where's that, I couldn't find that add up in the details, where's my line item? I know each commission's got their little government money, some has travel, some got miscellaneous, and we're like, like family, but I know we all pretty much the same salary, we all got aids, some of them do, some of them don't want to use it, that's fine. But we pretty much all got our expenses before, we all got that $50,000, whether you use it or not, I'm looking just to reconcile it, it didn't match, it was simple. Now, each one of us, and I made ask commission, you said yes, it didn't add up.
yeah, it's your salary and benefits. Okay. But what was it?
Well, it's just a
It's a plan.
All right, Jill, you okay?
Okay.
If you got what we're looking for, you can do about grant administration, all that before.
Yes, sir, and y'all already talked about the two major things that I'm working on right now are ARPA and the move to the new grant fund. So, those are my two heaviest projects. I'm taking care of everything I can, as smaller stuff comes up. But those are my two projects.
Did you get help? Did you get in this budget, did she got help?
It's in the budget for 2023, we just can't find, we just have not been able to hire.
So we didn't, she still keep her budget for this.
Yeah, and we're still looking for the grant.
But then we get to a track right. The track right person, so we need to revisit that. Because if you can't fill in 2023, you increase your budget to be able to accommodate and get what she needs, and she's gonna continue to put the same on.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't hurt. It's a complex position because you gotta have the accounting experience, as well as the grant experience, and we've been able to find one or each, but can't find that combo. So it would not hurt if there were options.
Absolutely, gotcha, thank you. Mr. Good. Yes, sir. Why don't you sit over there? Just don't sit at the table, man. I didn't move that far away. Are we okay with 2016? You're good? Y'all reconcile that? Okay, Rob, so, Director Miller, Mr. Good. We said a legal review of everything, for the full board, the expectation we said it. We need the full updated capital improvement budget. Which has, the last one I did was beautiful, single view. Whatever, when you have an updated, you're supposed to have an updated version of that, and the updated version of the ARPA as part of the formal budget process. You get the budget, but we also want to know, we're going to our capital improvement plan, an updated version of that, and reconcile, and I think you were in a meeting, or heard me talking to Matt Macier, and said, yes, we need to reshuffle the ARPA. And the goal is you're all right now, that we're gonna adopt the CIP along with the budget, along with the new ARPA. Y'all got that, will be ready by next week, or next week?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be the for the ARPA, it would be the, budget that the board approved.
Then, but if you reshuffle it, we're gonna reshuffle the project, that's fine. CIP, we're here with that, all the projects. Cause I'm having conversations, they're pushing, I'm gonna spend this much money on the fleet versus this transfer station versus the corner, this versus, oh, by the way, we gotta build a building for Newport Judge, over, wait a minute, we gotta go over here and buy this building, like, no, now, we need more data now, it's moving. I'm in these meetings, I'm like, okay, but where's the report to keep up with that? Because y'all are making, one-off decisions, not influencing, but you're making trade-off decisions here that you need to put on some list so I can keep up with this. Because you're like, gosh, y'all can't do all this at the same time. Y'all sit up here, I mean, I had to get on my peers this morning, and executive session, like, guys, where the list at? You can't do a new judge plus development services, and this, all things you're gonna use soft money out the gut, because you have to accrue it. Why are you, where's my timeline, where's my project manager to lay this out, like, that, you're being delusional about how y'all are going about doing it. Y'all are missing this, you just wanna crash, so I had that, I have about the executive, I said, you put it down back to you, now, I'm looking at that, I'll take this up in a minute. I need the board, needs to update the CIP. Along with the proper, and part of the adoption process, or you will not get my program. You have to give them the data. You cannot let them walk out there. Now, the board can approve what they want without doing this, that's fine. But I won't have to worry about, I told you so, when you get these grants, that you could have did a better job of planning for the future, you just use the data that we know we already have. All right, that's all I have to say. I think I'm good for right now. That was a long meeting, but thank you, Robbie. I thought Dave was gonna be in here, but I enjoyed you back.
Well,
Thank you
thanks.
so much. That would have been a different conversation. All right, with that being said, if there's any other things coming for this finance committee or that county board of commissioners on November 13th, 2023, let us stand adjourned. Thanks, Rob.
All right.
You're all.